Use class. Hey, y'all. Welcome back to Miss Warren's class. It's official. It's back to school season, which means new routines, new students, and I need to go stock up my coffee. Okay? But if you're a special education teacher or you work with special students who have special education needs, you already know we don't get a lot of downtime. Not at all. So today I'm giving you 5 practical and powerful ideas to start your year off right. Whether you're brand new or a seasoned king or queen, these tips will help you create a classroom that's structured, inclusive, and built for growth. Let's get into it. My first tip, personalizing learning plans. Every student in your class has different strengths, needs, and student learning profiles. Start gathering baseline data the first week of school. Y'all, baseline data does not have to be start your lessons the first day of school, okay? When we're doing our back to school stuff, the normal back to school stuff we do, our routines, our procedures, our get to know you, kind of you're introducing prerequisite skills that they should have learned last year, and you're getting that stuff done. Gather your baseline data in that. Use informal assessments like interest surveys, basic skill checklists, or even color-coded sticky notes during classwork to get a feel for where each student is. Review the IEPs. Don't stop there. Build your own profile for like the student profiles for the IEPs. Use that info to draft student-friendly learning plans. This can be a visual goal chart or a checklist to help you provide weekly updates. That's not something that I currently have in the shop. It's on my list of resources to make. I have student profiles available. I don't have the learning plans available. If you want a template or a talk through on how to do that, leave me a comment below. And lastly, schedule a goal talk with each student within the first month and let them take ownership early. Remember, we're not just collecting data. We're using it to customize our approach. Tip 2, use technology with purpose. Tech should empower, not overwhelm. There are so many tools out there, but the goal is to make content accessible. Tech is your assistant, not your replacement. Use a teleprompter or a slides display app to project instructions in large text in the front of the room. Students with processing delays or visual impairments can follow along easier. And y'all know I'm a fan. I will scream classroom screen and lesson launchpad from the rooftops. But there are also extensions and tools out there that you can use. If I can find it, I'll put it on the screen or in the description that translates what you're saying and what's on the screen into like different languages. And the students can log on. I got to look at my ESL folder to find it specifically, but the students can scan it, they can log on, and they can choose their language, and they can access the content that you're giving them in their preferred language. Directions on the board, y'all. Directions on the board, y'all. Like, I can't scream it to the rooftops loud enough. Directions on the board, y'all. Steps using tools like Google Slides, Classroom Screen, Lesson Launchpad, or Canva. Add timers or clip art to make it more clear. For nonverbal or speech-delayed students, offer options like voice typing, text-to-speech apps, or communication boards. Don't forget to use headphones. Use them with read-aloud tools or calming background music during independent work. The goal is to reduce the barriers without adding stress. Test what works and then just don't use what doesn't. Don't do 50-11 things, y'all. We're not doing 50-11 things. So when we're talking about my 3 action steps for that, use a teleprompter, use your slides on the board for your directions, whether that's Lesson Launchpad, Canva. Use the add-on for the languages so that the kids can access in different languages. Make sure that on your agenda, you're breaking it down into steps. Include the times on the steps. And Don't forget headphones. Read aloud is a powerful tool, especially when we get up to the older grades, y'all, and we have students whose deficits in reading, fluency, and decoding are so big. And it was like, y'all, like, I'm a 5th grade social studies teacher, or I'm a 8th grade science teacher. I can't teach them the content that I'm legally supposed to be teaching them and teach them how to read at the same time. I get it. I understand. Read aloud will be your best friend. You can get a class set of headphones, put headphones on the back to school list, tell parents that there's something that they need. So when the students come in, they have access to your content. Collaborative learning that actually works. Students in special education or who have special education services thrive when they feel seen and included. Group work can absolutely be successful with the right scaffolds. We can start with a structured pair work before jumping into big groups. Assign clear roles: the reader, the note taker, the presenter. Use visual role cards if needed. Give sentence starters or discussion frames. I think because, or can you help me understand? Include social goals like asking a peer for help as a part of your collaboration rubrics. And reminder, collaboration is not chaos. Model it, practice it. When they do it right, celebrate it. Back to school tip number 4, create a sensory-friendly classroom. Regulation comes before instruction. Y'all, if there's behaviors, I promise y'all I'm just going to read the script and I'm going to stop interrupting. If there's behaviors, there's no teaching going on. If there's behaviors, there's no teaching going on. So the more we can be proactive with our systems, our routine, our structure, and our schedules that can eliminate some of those behaviors, the better. Because instruction doesn't happen if there's behaviors. If your students don't feel physically or emotionally safe, they're not going to learn. And that's just that. So we can designate a calm down space or quiet corner. Use visuals and timers to help the students use that appropriately. The calming corner is something, or whatever you call it, the regulation space, whatever you call it, is something that you're going to have to teach, review, and practice. It doesn't have to be as fancy as you see some of these classrooms being. All I have room for is a desk in the corner, then boo, a desk in the corner, a poster in front of it with the rules, a timer by the side, and there you go. It just needs to be a space away from the group. I get it when we have 40 desks in the room. What do you mean I need to devote a whole section of the classroom? Think about how you can make it work for you and not how do I make it look like everybody else. Stock your classroom with sensory tools like fidgets, weighted lap pads, visual timers, or chewable jewelry, whatever matches your students' needs. So that is more for, and I promise I'm just going to read the script, y'all. That is more for special education, but fidgets, the rubber bands that you put at the bottom of the desk seat so that the kids can like move their feet, timers, the eraser thingies that the kids like that you put on, like stuff like that, in a gen ed class, or an inclusion class where what you can do is more limited than in a special education class. You still can have fidget, and you're still going to need the rules, the expectations to teach them, to practice them, and consequences or rewards for doing it right or doing it wrong. But the sensory materials help all students, y'all. And then build in predictable sensory breaks. 2 to 5 minutes between transitions, brain breaks after a heavy task, or movement before a test. Use class-wide regulation tools, the zone of regulations check-in, or daily mood readers. Pro tip, label your sensory tools and model how to use them. Clear boundaries, respectful, and independent. Back to school tip number 5, use engaging visual aids everywhere. Okay. How I see it, me personally, is the decor, the theme in my classroom is for me. Okay? This year, notebook, like the schoolgirl aesthetic type thing. I did farmhouse for a while, but the content is for the kids. I can make it look visually appealing to me, but the content is for the kids. For students who struggle with language processing, memory, or executive functioning, visuals provide clarity, comfort, and give them cues. So start with your classroom visuals, schedule cards, behavior expectations, transition signals. Add learning visuals to your instruction, sentence stems, anchor charts, flow maps, vocabulary icons. Embed visuals in your materials. Use picture-supported text, clip art labeled, or graphic organizers. Let students create their own visuals. Draw it, sort it, match it, build it. That's active learning. Y'all, and here we teach easier. We're not making 15 different things 15 different ways. Do it once and give it to everybody. So if we're doing the graphic organizer, we're doing the clip art, we're doing the vocabulary icon, all kids can benefit from. If I see the little pencil emoji, that means there's a vocabulary word coming up, or that means I need to write something. All kids can benefit. Do all of your stuff, all of your visuals, and make it accessible to the whole class so that you're doing it one time and you're done. Here's a tip. Snap a picture of your most used anchor chart and print mini versions of it for student binders or folders, or depending on what grade or you're doing, you can laminate them and stick them to the desks. Let's keep it real, y'all. Back to school season is a lot. It's a lot. But the work you're doing is transformational. Every small decision you make, how you present directions, when you offer breaks, what visuals you post, sends a message. This is space for you. So take these 5 strategies, tweak them for your crew, and don't be afraid to try something new this year. Personalized learning. Use tech on purpose. Foster collaboration. Build sensory-safe spaces, and make your visuals your ride or dies. Thanks for being here and showing up. You already know you can grab more tools, visuals, and IEP resources over at Ms. Warren's class, because here we teach easier.